And good afternoon, good people. I am your host, Mr. Will Williamson. Thank you for tuning in with us today for our second episode of Blak TV. My co-host, Mr. Will Williamson III, is over there knowing on his homeboy, Freddy the Frog. Say what's up, son. Okay. Sorry I didn't get to you guys yesterday. I had a long day of meetings. Some positive things on the horizon for Blak Hawk Media, as well as some things that we're implementing with a few other guys as it relates to the empowerment of our young people in the community. On today's show, we're going to be discussing history, African history to be exact. And at the end of the show, I have a nice little surprise. I put out a request last week for some pictures of black fathers with their children. I want to counteract the negative images that have been going on about black men in the media. Whether it's true or not, it just goes to show that the media doesn't really pinpoint the good things that's going on. So it's up to people like myself and some other folks that I know to be able to portray positive images of black men in America, and I'm going to do that today at the end of the show. So today's show, as I said, we're going to be discussing African history. So let's get into it. While Europe was experiencing its dark ages, a period of intellectual, cultural, and economic regression from the 6th to the 13th centuries, Africans were experiencing an almost continent-wide renaissance after the decline of the Nile Valley civilizations of Egypt and Nubia. The leading civilizations of this African rebirth were the Axum Empire, the Kingdom of Ghana, the Mali Empire, the Songhai Empire, the Ethiopian Empire, the Mosi Kingdoms, and the Benin Empire. The Axum Empire was an important military power and trading nations in the area that is now Eritrea and northern Ethiopia, existing from approximately 100 to 940 AD. At its height, it was one of only 4 major international superpowers of its day, along with Persia, Rome, and China. Axum controlled northern Ethiopia, Eritrea, northern Sudan, southern Egypt, Djibouti, western Yemen, and southern Saudi Arabia, totaling 1.25 million square kilometers, almost half the size of India. Axum traded and projected its influence as far as China and India, where coins minted in Axum were discovered as late as 1990. Centered in what is today Senegal, the Mauritania, the Kingdom of Ghana dominated West Africa between 750 and 1078 AD. Famous to Northern Africans as the land of gold, Ghana was said to possess sophisticated methods of administration and taxation, large armies, and monopoly over notoriously well-concealed gold mines. The king of the Saniki people, who founded Ghana, never fully embraced Islam, but good relations with Muslim leaders were fostered. Ancient Ghana derived power and wealth from gold, and the use of camel increased the quantity of goods that were transported. Ghana is having the richest gold mines on earth. Ghana was also a great military power. According to one narrative, the king had at his command 200,000 warriors and an additional 40,000 archers. That's a lot of soldiers. After the fall of the Kingdom of Ghana, the Mali Empire rose to dominate West Africa. Located in the Niger River, which is west of Ghana, in what is today Niger and Mali, the empire reached its peak in the 1350s. The Mali Empire was founded by Mansa, King Sandiati Keita, and became renowned for its wealth and of its rulers, especially King Mansa Musa. He was the grandson of Sandiati's half-brother and led Mali at a time of great prosperity, during which trade tripled. During his rule, Mansa Musa doubled the land area of Mali. It became a larger kingdom than any in Europe at its time. The cities of Mali became important trading centers of all West Africa, as well as famous centers of wealth, culture, and learning. Timbuktu, an important city in Mali, became one of the major cultural centers not only in Africa, but of the entire world. Now, here's a well-known fact that a lot of people didn't know. During the Hajj of Mansa Musa in the 13th century, his Hajj was so profound that it altered the currency of every country that he passed through with his entourage. Why is that? Because every country that he passed through, he just handed out gold to everybody. And this just really just kind of threw things off in terms of how their currency is. But, hey, that's what you do when you got it like that. Anyway, the Kingdom of Mali had a semi-democratic government with one of the world's oldest known constitutions. Yes, the Kurigan Fuga. The The Kurikan Fuga of the Mali Empire was created after 1235 by an assembly of nobles to create a government for the newly established empire. The Kurikan Fuga divided the new empire into ruling clans, which were represented at a great assembly called the Gabara. The Gabara was the deliberative body of the Mali Empire and was made up of 32 members from around 29 clans. They were given a voice in this government and were a check against the emperor's power. It was presided over by Benin Tagayi, the master of ceremonies, who recognized everyone who wanted to speak, including the monster. The Gabara, and the Kurikan Fuga remained in place for over 400 years until 1645. So, that's a little bit of the African history that I wanted to drop on you. You can check all this out. Just Google some things. Go to the library. You can check up on it yourself. Please, anything that you do in life, one thing that I always encourage people to do is to search and have a quest for knowledge for yourself. Educate yourself. Now, as promised, let's get into the slideshow and let's show some honor and salute some of these fathers out here in the black community. Thank you very much from me and myself. For myself and from Mr. Trip here, we wish you guys a good day. All right.